Nuclear Regulatory Commission, MSSDFM, Inspection Procedure 88-201, Appendix C with the training qualification effective 2020-2025, Program Applicability IMC with 2600-2694, 88-201C01, Inspector for the Deck with the term applicant and license training with the qualification program. We adequately establish the implementing measure for the ensure the personnel will perform activities associated with the terms readily on items related on relied on safety with the training with the test with the provide reasonable assurance with the understanding and recognize with the employment with the qualified performing the activity with the adequate with the protect with the people health the safety of the environment from the applicant and license for the training with the qualification program adequately integrated coordinated and integrated with the other management measures. 88-201C02 with the inspection requirement inspection procedure for the intent of the provide with the inspection requirement the guidance for the applicant with the verify with the potential for the construction of the project role for the existing and new fuel cycle facilities project may greatly scope of the complexity of the risk of the public health of the safety the result of the all subsection of the subsection pending for the may be applicable to the implementation of the facility with the recommended and scope of the hour with the specific new fuel cycle facility with documented principal inspection plan with the facility with the developed with the corner of the inspection manual chapter IMC 2694 fuel cycle facility constructs the pre-operation readiness for the review with the inspection program additional with the pending for the review to provide additional management measure for the inspection guidance for the plan modification inspection existing facilities not required but to be implemented with these travel the appendix section with the pending for the modification existing fuel cycle facilities were done on a case-to-case basis corner for the IMC inspection manual chapter 2600 with appendix B with the nuclear regulatory core inspection requirements 0201 training qualification program review with the relevant section of the applicant and license the good graded safety analysis for the data appropriate measure for the establish for the training and the qualifications with the person with the perform the activity enter item relied on for safety. Determine the name of the team's applicant and license of the may with the training with the area with the complying with the requirements of the license commitments. Determine the applicant and license training with the program maintain with the established proceed with the requirement of the license application 0202 with the program implementation. Determine the applicant and license with the complying with the license requirement of relating with the implementation with the training program training with the administrative with the item relied on with the for safety with the implementing with the Title 10 with the Code of Regulation Title 10 7062 with the item relied on for safety available to reliable with the training observation determine the training class and or teaching aid for the conduct of the accordance with the applicant license requirement of the procedure with the requirement change examination determine the change of the training examination applicable with the accordance with the license procedure application inspection guidance specific guidance M300301 training qualification program inspection 0201 see for the program training manager for the equivalent with the determination for the name of the training with the recently made with the verified substantial for the damage review with approval of the applicant license manager complying with the requirement to review with the change of the applicant license training program to determine rule with the applicant license with the means for the update with the habit of the training program regarding identify with the training with the plan with the recommendation pertinent to the change of the item relied on for safety training with the radiological survey, critical safety, emergency preparedness, operational safety programs. Determine the applicant license have included a lesson with learning with the past events with the ministry of the program involved with the training module determine the following with the word trip with the update with the applicant license training program. Tracking system for the each for the training with the dress for the timely base for the inspect for the trade cross check for the feature for the tracking of the system and identify with the heads of the identification assessment with the element of actual management review with the recommendation have the identification of the assessment with the insane investigation audit program with identify with the deficiency of the training program with the dress for the timely manner to ensure has of the facility with the facility address and the inspectorship cross section of the training program element and instead of the investigator over the audit training with the training action with the initiative with the configuration management process with the address with the training with the implemented for all the personal effective with the training with the reserved with the day with the training with the determining with the capture with the pre-start with the safety checklist or with the tool with the review applicant license training program with the determining with the applicant license with the established written procedure with the identification for the training requirement of the training material selection qualification instruction with the menu for the employee with the training record with the entry with the adequate frequency refresh with the requalification or contracting visitor training determine the applicant with the license maintained with the training outline to define with the requirement of material with the testing verify in-house training program selected with the pursuit and the covered initial orientation specifically process training full classroom on with the job with the professor training with the procedure showing available the training evaluations final qualification certification verify with the training material with the dress following tap that the items were relied on for safety process safety information element the safety help with the heads with the relevant material safety dash personal protective equipment etc safe work practice lockout tag out proceed with the opening and process with the equipment and the hot work control with the with the heads with the radiological area with the process technologies required with the operating procedure all phase operation 0302 and program implementation inspection requirement 0202 is specific regulatory commitment and/or requirements related to the license term of the program contained with the license applicant and license condition determined with the training program within the license application commitment. Do some discussing the process with the staff with the group of the review of the relevant documentation for the training program includes with the radiological fair with the chemical with the nuclear critical safety content with the operators. Review of the documentation, training, evaluation, qualification, certification, activity for employee training records accessible with the easily reference for the information that includes the following name and employee with the date of the training with the name of the trainer. Must with the determined with the training material with ownership with the verify with the refresher training with the provide at least 20 years with the special with the license application commitment with the condition and content of the required materials. Speech with the license application affidavit will may include with the following safety have with the MSD, the jobs with the chemical have the tape of the work product for the emergency proceed with the standard operating procedures. Inspectorship with the review, interview training with the determinant with the refresher training with the conduct with the coordinator with the schedule with the determinant with the employee training with the required with the license application with the condition of the training program and employee contractor visitors should be appropriate with the given the half of the area that you're working with the visiting every person with the into the facilities with the go through the site specific general with the operation covering safety health hazard with the emergency procedure alarm in addition to the maintenance employee with the contractor relevant to undergo the training with the work proactive with the process to have the relevant to work through with the performing review of the internal audit of self-assessment with the pertaining with the training program and discovery applicant and license evaluation overall effectiveness training program excessive observation of the training program with the addressing of the radiological file with the critical safety chemical safety aspect of the head for the safety affecting operations with the nuclear material of the facility principle in whichever the training program and the ensure the employee with the adequately prepared with the performing the job tab with the safety effective with the man of the note with the containment with the nuclear critical course for the professional training with the critical safety standard staff review with the IP 8805 with the nuclear critical safety program do not duplicate. View the list of the training representative include the management of the item array lie down for safety administer for the control of the sample with the review with the detail with the training with a more one or more supervisors select the operator with the technician with the determine with the participant in the training program and indicate for the training records verify completion of the initial of the training with the periodic retraining with the on-the-job with training with the examination of the training with the determining with the operation of the technician independent work with the training qualification experience described by the wearer now is complete examine the 5 or more records of the initial training with the new employee with the verify with the position with the test examine the review of the test with the required with the program examine the 5 or more record with the retraining experience with the employee with a variety within position include test examine the review of the items required for the program and determine the decision of the document review the observation examine the program for the individual review receive the performance based on the item reviews on for safety with the training with the verify for the individual cause of the receiver the safety control of the training knowledge of the skill of the understand the high his or her personnel, organizational authority responsible for safety, and interview training with the verify with the understanding shutdown authority, and items ready to ride on for safety control of the tab with the verify with the bullshit with the authority, reach out with the authority, address the procedure with the training observation with the inspection requirement, observe with the training safety verify with the position such with the manager safety supervise with the operator maintenance mechanic with the instrument the control of the technician with the training with the observation mace include the classroom training with the on-job training one or more with the instruction with the receive the expectations select for the staff to determine whether the staff can effectively implement procedure with the discuss with the staff to determine whether the thought of the training was adequate with a note on the job training with the minimum include following equipment familiarization complete with the log sheet with the equipment and startup sheet with the activity limiting operation conditions with the control of the process with the variable applying operating procedure within the field 0304 change with the examination inspection requirement 0204 with the examiner interpret the specified test with the given number of the training program determine the test score of the program and administer the verify the score of the result of the attribute with the test satisfied with the program criteria 88-201C04 with the resource estimate the resource estimate complete with the appendix of the dependent on the specific facility determined with the personal and protective implement inspection plan with the facility with the detail of the resource elements established in IP 88-201-604 resource estimate. 88-201-CO05 procedure completion of the dependent specific facility will be determined by the PIP for the facility 88-201-C06 reference. We have Title 10 CFR 7061 performance requirement Title 10 CFR 7062 safety program integrated safety analysis Title 29 CFR 1910-19 occupational safety health association process safety management highly hazardous chemicals central chemical process safety guidelines technical management chemical processing safety the American Institute of Chemical Engineers, Chemical Manufacturers Association Process Safety Management Procedure Practices 17, 18, 19, and 20, list of attachment revision histories, and that completes Nuclear Regulatory Commission Inspection Manual Training and Qualifications.